about road racing. Over the years that you were doing speedway, you're also doing a lot of other things. You're doing your trotting, boxing, drag racing, and then later on you went into the touring cars. Why doing so many things? You just like doing different things, or a challenge, or?
Yeah, I just reckon there's no use getting to be, you know, like I play polo now. I could go fishing or play bowls or something like that, maybe more golf or something, but I just want to do those things while I'm still fit enough and young enough to do it. I don't want to get to be 80 years of age or saying, gee, I wonder how I would have went in the rags or something. But talking about just individually, there's little things that stick out. I'm going to say the first time I met Kerry Packer was on top of Bathurst. And we only talked about this a couple of months ago. I was down to his place playing polo. And he, Kevin Bartlett was his driver in a big Chevy Camaro. I think it was about 1983. And I was driving for the Recard team at Alan Brown, and my co-driver was Gary Rogers, and he had Alan Bryce and Brownie drove the other car. We had two cars. Anyway, so I'm going over the top of the mountain, and Bartlett's in this big Camaro trying to get by me, you know. And he's barefoot and bars, and I said, what's going on here? Why don't you wait till he gets it straight? And he'd probably beat, you know, he should have more horsepower now. There's no chance that we're going to go past me on top of the mountain, you know. So anyway, he said, give me a couple of minutes, I don't care. So I was doing an old speedway trick and watched him straight off the side of the mountain. Anyway, no peas down there. And he's good, I didn't know him anyway, in these days. Anyway, so we get around the pits, and Les Small, my mechanic, and his wife, she wasn't his wife then, Chris was our lap scorer. And because I come in to change drivers with Gary about 20 laps later, 25 laps later, I just had a back guard, a little bit dim, you know. Poor old Bartlett. We're good mates now, you know, Kevin and I, but anyway, we weren't right then. But what happened was, I came in about 20 laps later and changed drivers, and I said to Les, I said, bloody Bartlett, I said, I can't believe that, mate. He said, geez, he said, different to what he said about you. He said, he came in here, he said, and he was abused and saying you're the lowest, so what? And I said, what? And of course, you know, you're red hot when you're fit as a Mary Lord, you know, so I ripped my helmet off and I raced up, and here's big KP walking along with about 9 of his Channel 9 birds, you know, all their little bikinis and their flapping Channel 9 flags or whatever. And I said, where's your bloody driver, you know? That's the first time I said, so where's your bloody driver? He just looked straight through me, and one of the blokes I knew in Kevin Bartlett's pit said he's up in the caravan line. So I raced up there, you know, I ripped the door off the caravan. Here's Kevin with his overalls rolled down, sweating, looking at the TV. I'm jumping on top of him. No, I won't say what happened. I apologised on National 9 TV. Everybody said it. You thought it was Steve Harrington. You didn't think it was one.
You mentioned Blair Shepherd while you've been talking tonight. You've had a long association with Blair. I mean, you raced against him for years, and it was always a very keen rivalry, obviously, on the racetrack, and you know, and as far as the fans were concerned. But obviously, you're good mates.
Oh yeah, great mates. Yeah, very well done. Yeah.
You actually ran Archerfield Speedway for a while together, Sunday afternoon meetings.
Actually, what happened? Yeah. The first time I met Blair was I knew who he was, but I didn't actually, you know, I was just learning. And a guy called Terry Fuge, you remember this, William Neville. A guy called Terry Fuge come from Injune, and he married to some woman who owned a station out there or something. And anyway, he's a good mate of Blair's. He bought a couple of cars, and he couldn't give a shit, but he was a good guy. Anyway, so he invited us. I think it was Johnny Packman, there was Blair and myself, and we 3 or 4 cars anyway. We get out there, and we run up and down the main street of Inchune and all sorts of things. There was only about 40 people in the town, but we were at Kings anyway. That night at the dance, we run around the track and everything, you know, and we were the heroes of the town, you know. All 40 people worship us. Anyway, there were a couple of school teachers there, anyway. One only, there was 2. But anyway, so on the way out of town, Blair and I said, we've got to stop in the same way to these girls, you know, so we went there, we crawled through the fence, and we didn't go through the gate, we crawled through the fence, with speed cars on the back, and went in and we sat down at the desk, and all these kids were there because they'd all seen the race the day before, and we said, kids, you know, how are you, you know, and we started talking to them and all that. We said, listen, we think you kids deserve a day off, you know. So we give them a day off, you know. So I didn't want to hear any more about speed cars or whatever. So there's Blair and I are there talking to 2 girls, you know. We're talking about school. And anyway, so what happened was the headmaster come in. I wanted to know where all the kids were. We Bartlett, we got in the car. No chance of getting the kids back, I'll tell you. But, yeah.
But how do you enjoy promoting Speedway? I mean, it's a whole new ballgame. It's completely different to competing. How do you enjoy the promoting side of it?
Well, I don't really do it. I'll tell you what, I've got to tell you, in all seriousness, and I'm not Bill Good, and I'm not whatever, you know, and there's guys like Frank Arson and Mike Lane and Tom Mygrave, there's lots of good promoters. I think you've got to say that anybody who's still survived Speedway over a number of years is a good promoter, really, whether it's, you know, but I've got to tell you that the worst job is like, you know, it's like being a chief steward, I suppose, is being a Speedway promoter. Because the worst thing is, and I used to do it, I was the guiltiest person, that's why I started Archerfield. I went and seen the tracks that Ray knew, and that was one of Peter Dykes and myself come back, and we said, hey, this is rough, you know, we had good this, so we started Archerfield. Well, it was Brian Tracy, and then I came in with Blair afterwards and whatever, but Dykes and I come back with the same, actually I got the Beanway Showgrounds, and Dykes got Archerfield, Dykes and Brian Tracy got Archerfield, and then we done a deal, and I said, well, if you're going ahead with Archerfield, I won't go ahead with the so then they had a stock car go through the wall, and they got into financial trouble because they got in trouble with her, so Blair and I brought in then, that's what happened with Archerfield. But getting back to Speedway promoting, Barry, you know, it's something that, as I said, I was guilty of it myself, where you're driving around and there might be 5,000 people there, you know, but you really believe that there's 7 or 8, and you think, gee, they're charging $10 or in them days $5, $10, I don't know what they're charging, anyway, whatever. Just say today, you drive around, there's 5,000 people, and just say Archerfield, and this isn't a sales pitch because we've just leased Archerfield to Johnny Kelly for the next 3 years. But anyway, what you do, and any of these guys that said that they haven't done it, is bullshit, okay? You really believe there's an extra 2,000 or 3,000 people, and also if there was 5,000 people at Archerfield next Saturday night, and you're driving around, you would think there was 7 or 8 in your mind, okay? And you think that they're charging $20 to get in, so they're going to get $160,000, okay? In real fact, there's probably, there might be 5,000 people, it'll be 3,000 adults.
Take off the ones that jumped the fence.
Yeah, well, they're not so many of them, that's my story. But a lot of the kids, a lot of the pensioners, a lot of them, you know, there's 300 or 400 people past, whatever, I don't know, whatever, sponsors, whatever, and when you work it all out, it's half of that, and then when you look at the expenses that, and I'm not going to get into detail, but what Speedway's promoting is a thing that like Tom Mygrave and Mike Raymond and Peter Gabriel and they've got to say Frank Arson and Gilder and all those guys. You've got to been around, as I said, for 20 years in Speedway, promoting, or 10 years or more. I'll take the hell off them, because I wouldn't want to do it. I wanted to do it. You know, the thing that really taught me about promoting was, at the same time, I'll tell you a little story about promoting, when a guy called Owen Bateman and Bay Arthur had the Sydney Showground Speedway in 1978. And I'd just gone down there, I was in scrap metal. And I went down with, must have been Rod Farrell, to race Sid Hopping. And I was always going to go down and race, and I was too scared. I said, no, I said, I'll come, but you've got to pay me. You know, so anyway, we argued over how much it was. But finally, the deal I'd done with Bateman was, you know, X amount of dollars, and I can't remember the dollars, but, and there was 2 rooms at the Crest Hotel at the Cross, and a hire car for 2 days or something like that. Yep. You coming? I said, right, I'll be there. So down we go. Anyway, so he had the biggest crowd ever. And I'll be hopping. And he had the biggest crowd ever, you know. And anyway, and he's laughing and joking, we're all drinking up. And I said, hey, hang on. Give me the... He said, I went out to Gloria and she paid me. And I said, hang on a minute. You know, she paid me for the car and the money and maybe the airfares or something. I forget what it was. But anyway, we argued over the $66, I think it was. The two nights of what it was for the accommodation, you know. And she said, no, well, you've got to go and see Alan for that. I said, hang on a minute, we're arguing over $66 or $70, might have been, I don't know, well, there was nothing really. So I went back and I said, well, I'm not leaving. We're all drinking around, it's been into an hour and they're all laughing and joking. I said, hey, I'm not leaving, I want my money. And Anyway, Bateman said to me, he said, you don't need it anyway. I said, I don't. I said, okay, well, I won't worry about it. I said, we'll never race with you again. You wouldn't believe how fate happens. I was in this scrap metal association, and a guy called Horsville, I'll always remember his name, he was the accountant for the Sydney Royale showground, for the Sydney Royale. And he said, we were just talking, I said, I wouldn't mind renting that place or the police. And he said, oh, well, the colonel, the bloke was in charge, a mate of mine. He said, I'll put you on him. So I done a deal. I paid $20,000 in advance more than Bateman paid the year before. And I rented the place. I said, I'll take it. So a great pleasure walking in and telling Bateman and Clay Art they were just out of there and the whole lot, gone. And he said, what did you do that to me for? I said, mate, it was $66. I said, it's cost you the speedway. I said, I want to see you again. So I'll give you a hand. I said, yeah, you won't even get a free pass. I really do. But anyway, so that's how, make a long story short, I lost about $50,000. Going down with Harold Gilder, and he used to be my announcer. And Harold Gilder and I was flying down one night, and Mick Roper, I got Mick Roper from the Toowoomba Speedway to run it for us. And he was down there this night, and I still remember, and I had a whole heap of people. Like I had Ollie Olsen, Ivan Major, Billy Sanders, all the, Bobby Schwartz, all the champion motorbike riders from all over the world. All there. Anyway, what happened? What happened? It didn't get on that night because we were flying down. They detoured the plane into Williamstown Airport base from Newcastle. So Harold and I were sitting there for about an hour. But I rang Roper like about 12 o'clock before we got on the plane. So he said, yeah, he said, it's all finding up. It's been raining, it's finding up. We couldn't get into Sydney. There's thunderstorms everywhere. So near the speedway built. So we finally got into Sydney. And Harold said, he said, at that time, Tommy Smith and Malcolm Johnson were winning all the races with even money favourites at Randwick. He said, how much have you got invested? And I said, $35,000. He said, how much do you expect to win? He said, how much do you think is better if if we've got the fans? I'll probably make 35 grand. That's even money. He said, you just lost 35 grand. He said, why don't we quit the speedway? He said, we're going to have 30 grand on the Tommy Smith bucket. We've got no work, we've got nothing. I said, that's it. It's not quite what I wanted to do, but it sounded pretty logical at the time. We were sitting in the airport base and all my money had been washed away. But anyway, I lost money down there. And it wasn't good.
So you got out of it?
I got out of that.
Very well in the hot rods, as you mentioned. You actually started Speedway in hot rods. You bought a super modified from Larry Burton that everyone dubbed Big 9 and did so well in that car, won a heap of races. It must have been a very car that you liked immensely.
But in all fairness, it was a much better car than everybody else's. It was much stronger and it was much.
What can you tell us about Neville Brennan?
No, I'll tell you one little story about Neville Brennan. When we first went over there racing, and Neville, I used to, I'd introduce him, and say, this is my mechanic, this is Neville Brennan, and say, Neville? They couldn't say it. The Yanks cannot say Neville. They can't say Neville, they say Neville. I said, look, listen, Nev, we've got a problem here. I said, I'm going to call you Chuck. Anyway, everywhere I went, I used to say, here's my mechanic, Chuck, oh, that Chuck, how are you? Anyway, I couldn't believe it. We had a big bloke, which we used to have occasionally. You have a bloke with mechanics, otherwise you're no bloody good. And you're no good either, you've got to fire up. Anyway, so what happened is, we had a big bloke somewhere. And he said, by the way, my name's Neville, that's right. He was really dirty about Paul the whole 3 weeks, a month or 2 months, they called him. And I had some great times with all the guys, like Billy Gilder, we had some great times all over, and Rob Farrell, you can just, but I've got to tell you, just one thing, out of all the things that I've done out before, what's the most exciting, I've got to tell you, the real spines tingling, really excitement, just on a terror. It wasn't driving a drag or a speed car, it was probably boxing. And that's when there's no excitement like that when you're sitting in the ring, and wait for them to ring the bell and look across to some big black bugger, you know, and they know they're going to pull a chair up underneath you shortly, and it's up to you and him. No, see, if you're racing a car, even if you're playing polo, you're racing a car, whatever, like you can say, how many times do you know they say, I did that, Brian Dillon should have won that race, but he pulled the wrong gear, or he pulled the wrong tyres, or something happened, or a guy got out in front of him or something, you know, whatever, you know, something happened. But, you know, when you're fighting, you got to, you know, there's you and him. You don't get in there if you're not fit and you're not well. And it's just the two of you, and that's pretty exciting.
We got a question from Howard Ravel.
You didn't do much pavement driving until you came down to Sydney. That was the only time you'll ever see the pavement. How did you like running on it?
Yeah, not bad. I raced in Roseville in California. That's in super modifieds. I raced on pavement there. And in San Jose, that was on pavement too. But I never done all that much of it. To sort of either way, I mean, so you had a bit of pavement track in, you run on a fair bit or you've done a fair bit of it. You just had to be really smooth. It was a lot like road racing. It was smooth. I thought, I love the dirt track racing, you know, really, rather than the pavement. But, you know, that's, you know, it went faster.
Did you have any special preparation yourself before, say, a big meeting? Did you like have time to yourself, or perhaps, you know, sleep, or did you have any special preparation mentally?
Yeah, I always reckon I had an advantage most of the time because I always trained. You know, I used to go to the gym and whether I was fighting or not, I'd still go to the gym and I'd go for runs, and I always felt fit, you know what I mean. So I used to love getting out of a car after you drove it 100 laps, but no power steering, and still feel that you could have drove another 100 laps. You win the race in the last 20 or 30 laps every time, you know. Because the guys weren't fit. I think it's like anything, you know, that you've got to be fit. But yeah, I used to always try and have a sleep in the afternoon for a couple of hours, and then and freshen yourself right up. Yeah.
Because at one stage, Ron, you were actually racing trotters and speedway in the one night, weren't you?
The biggest weekend I had, and I only done it once, was I fought a 10 round at Ipswich on the Friday night. I drove trotters at Brockway on a Saturday afternoon and won. And I rode the first race at Elmwood Park and won. I come in and won the speed car feature race in the speed cars and the sprint cars, and then I went down and won a drag race one weekend on a Sunday. That's the biggest weekend. But you can't do it now. You couldn't do it now. It's been completely impossible. They're all too professional in each. I mean, so I'm not saying we weren't professional, Bobby or Howard, but I just know that we just had the Optima hours with the Sesco and the VW, and that was my era. And they were the best cars at that time. When you say that I had the best car, I had the best car, but there was another 8 or 10 guys that had the same. I mean, so the Bill Goods, the Bob Morgans, the Blair Shepherds, the Gus McClures, and Barry Valentinas, and there was plenty of other guys that spent the same sorts of money as I did, but there was plenty of guys that didn't, you know. But I can't really comment on that today. I just know that, unfortunately, there's that many other things on now as far as Speedway, that the days of Speedway, the way that we knew it, will never come back.
Hi, do you remember when you were promoting at Sydney Showground, there was an America versus Australia speed car series, and you hired Rich Vogler and Mel Kenyon versus yourself, I think, and John Fenton. Yeah. And that was the first time that the speed cars appeared at the Showground for quite a few years, because they all went to Liverpool, there was a drought, but there was no speed cars at all seen at the Showground. Yeah. But also I remember you wearing a white brimmed hat on a white stallion, a white horse going on the centre green.
Yeah. That's quite we rode elephants and all sorts of things. Andrew got the crowd, mate. We had an elephant race down there. George tapped myself one night, you know, just rode elephants, but you know. Yeah, I remember riding white horse. Yeah.
Barry Wickstead up there.
Ronnie, if AJ Voigt was like the best ever, who was the best or the toughest to compete against Australian was?
Johnny Stewart to the Jeff Freeman to the there's a lot of good drivers, mate. There's a lot of good drivers because winning any night. There's a lot of them here tonight, you know, and there's a lot of them. Blair Shepard, Bill Good, all those guys are all Johnny Harvey, Johnny Stewart, Ronnie Mackay, George Tatnell, all in their day and in their era. Barry Watt, when I first got in, he was one of the stars. Bobby Morgan was very tough to beat for quite a few years there. Howard Rebel, different times, you know, there's all these guys, they're all, you know, I think, you know, in them days, that most of the guys were really heroes to sort of, you know, don't get me wrong, but with the amount of guys that really get hurt, you know. Anyway.
I remember one Sunday afternoon when Batman was big on the TV and the advertised the fact Batman was going to be there.
That was really funny. Sure. If we did it, you know, surely Blair and I would get up to the Australian National Hotel Monday night and say, what are we going to have on Speedway this week, you know, this Sunday afternoon? What can we think of? And Batman was big in that days, you know, he's Batman. So we got somebody to run up to, Harold Gilder, I think, to run up to the 4BC and get a Batman record, you know, so we're going to play over the thing. So we went down to Blair's yard and he pulled the mufflers off these, off the Chevy Camaro or something, and one of these guys, Billy knows all of them, painted it all up. Batmobile. What's that?
Me out of this.
You didn't do it, I know the guy down there, I painted up Batmobile. So we get out there and I'm Robin. We've got two types too, we've got to be Batman, who's going to be Robin, so I end up being Robin, you know, so Blair and I going around the car, we're going, run, and Harold Gilder's on the phone, what do you think, kids, can Batman break the track record? And everybody's yelling, yes, yes, and he raced up this little kid down there, he said, what do you think, son? Do you reckon? Yes, yes, he's great, you know. Went up to another bloke and he said, yes, yes, I think he'll break the track record, Batman's going, tripping, going, what about you, son? This smart bloody kid. He said, that's not Batman, that's Blair Shepherd. Anyway, Blair drove out of the bloody speedway with about, like the Pied Piper with about 5,000 kids calling, Batman, Batman, Batman. Oh yeah, that was a great old Batman. I think I had a great time and was competitive most of the time I rode, and I met a great lot of friends and a great bunch of guys, and went to, you know, raced all over the place, New Zealand many times, America many times, you know, and no, I got no regrets, so I thought, but yeah.
And just one other thing, when you drove your old car last year, Warden's car, how did that feel? To get back in and
It's like I'd never been out of it.
Yeah.
I just wished that they didn't have enough to those things there. We've got to break the track record, mate. They had the things in the middle.
I'll just say something, Ron. Take you back to one Sunday afternoon at Archfield, and after the race meeting, many times there was a barbecue afterwards. And this particular...
I've been trying to get Bill to put one on now.
Yeah, right, okay. You had the sidecars out there, and a guy named, we all know Ron Johnson, big Ron Johnson, ran the sidecar, and the discussion started, and Johnson, I think he dared you to get on the chair. He put you around the track. So he did. I've never seen that you were white when he got off.
Can you imagine me going around? I've never ridden one of these things before. And Big John, I'm trying to strangle him because he's laughing. He's turning around laughing. He's flat out around the track, and I'm trying to strangle him. I've got my hands on. My hands go from here. I've got him around the neck. He's turning around. He's a tough mate. He's turning around laughing. Full bore mics. He said, "Yeah, swinging me from side to side." Unbelievable, yeah. I remember that. Yeah, there's a million things like that. Yeah.
So it's one thing you wouldn't take up the sidecar passenger on.
No, well, I tried. I really wanted to know. Greg Kent was there tonight, and probably somebody else was with motorbikes, but I always wanted to ride motorbikes. But you know how they put you through a speed car. You know, they put you through all the medical tests where you've got to, you know, you check your heart and everything else about blood pressure and all that sort of stuff. Well, you know. In them days, you know, when Ronnie Johnson was like that, before your time, Greg, much before, they used to put you through a candle test. They put the candle up, light up. I never was
I'm stunned.
It's all true.
It's all true. All right, ladies and gentlemen, would you please thank Ron for coming tonight. I'm sure you've enjoyed it. I know I haven't stopped laughing. And some of it's been serious too, but it's certainly been very enjoyable to have Ron here tonight. Would you please put your hands together for him? But before he goes, we do have to perform a little duty, and I'll ask George to come up to the stage, please.
Thanks very much anyway for having me on this stuff. I'm sure you have.
Oh, it's been a real pleasure, Ron. Thanks very much for coming on behalf of the club. And while you're here, I'd like to call up Howard Revell. The little matter we're going to attend to with, from last time when Howard was there. And so on behalf of everyone at the club, for you, Ron, we'd like you to accept that. And for Howard, a little bit belated, but we weren't prepared last time, but we are from now on. So thank you for everything.
Thanks very much, George.
And thanks very much, Ron. And, I hope you enjoy those and remember us, you know. And thanks to Barry Lane for the interview.